Maybe you're not stuck. Maybe you're just disconnected. There's something that I see happening to so many people right now. They think that they're stuck and they think they're stuck in old habits. They're stuck in exhaustion. They're stuck in overthinking. Maybe they're stuck in emotional patterns that they just can't seem to change. But often I find what's actually happening is something much deeper. They're disconnected from themselves, from what they feel, from what they need, from their body, from their intuition, from their own internal signals. And honestly, it makes sense because most of us have been trained to override ourselves for a very long time, to just keep going, to push through, to stay productive, to always be available, to perform, to adapt. Even when our nervous system is exhausted, even when part of us says no, even when something inside of us is saying, slow down. So eventually, many people just stop listening to themselves altogether. And when that happens, life can start feeling kind of flat or overwhelming or both at the same time. You might still be functioning, you might still be working and showing up and being productive, but underneath it, there's this disconnection. And this is where people become really hard on themselves. They think, why can't I figure this out? Why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel so tired? Why can't I just change? But the nervous system doesn't respond well to force. It responds to safety. And when we live in chronic stimulation, information, pressure, uncertainty, emotional overload, the nervous system adapts. And sometimes that adaptation looks like anxiety, overthinking, hypervigilance, emotional reactivity, always being on. And sometimes it looks like the opposite: numbness, brain fog, exhaustion, disconnection, not even knowing what you feel anymore. Neither response means you're broken. They're just protective patterns. And the body is trying to help you survive these environments that feel overwhelming or feel unpredictable. But survival mode creates a problem over time. You can't build deep self-trust while you're disconnected from your own experience. Because self-trust requires listening. Not perfectly, not constantly, but honestly. And many people have spent years learning to not listen. Not because they failed, but because somewhere along the line, overriding themselves felt safer. Safer than disappointing someone, safer than slowing down, safer than feeling the grief, safer than admitting they were overwhelmed. So the disconnection became kind of automatic. And eventually, it just started feeling normal. And this is one of the reasons we've spent so much time talking about nervous systems and emotional patterns and myelination these past few months, because your brain strengthens what it repeats. And if disconnection has been practiced long enough, it can begin to feel like identity. But it isn't identity, it's just a pattern. And patterns can be changed. Not overnight, not through shame, not through forcing yourself into a new version of you, but through reconnection. Small moments where you begin to listen again, pausing before reacting, noticing any tension in your body, asking yourself what you actually feel, telling yourself the truth about what you need. These moments might seem super small, but they matter because every time you stop overriding your internal experience, your nervous system receives a new message. And the messages might be, I'm listening now, it's safe enough to notice, and my experience matters. That's where reconnection begins. Not in dramatic breakthroughs, in this quiet awareness where you meet yourself in self-honesty, in presence, and slowing down enough to hear yourself again. And then from there, something really important starts to happen. Choice returns. You stop reacting automatically quite as often. You notice patterns earlier. You begin responding instead of just surviving. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because you're no longer completely disconnected from yourself inside of it. And honestly, I think this is what people are truly craving right now. Not more information, not more optimization, not more tools and techniques, but just reconnection to themselves, to their body, to their clarity, to what feels real and true. And if this resonates, we created a really simple nervous system reset kit, and that will support you in this exact process. Not to fix you because you're not broken, just to help you begin listening inwardly again. Because transformation doesn't start when you force yourself to become someone new. Why? You're fabulous just as you are. Reconnection starts when you finally feel safe enough to come home to yourself.